So in high school, you said you were interested in computer science, and then in college, you moved to electrical engineering, and then now it's more like space. How was that journey?
Well, the electrical engineering was really just a transition from computer science. It was more of an interest at the time. In my initial work, it was in the space environment where I did embedded flight software as well as hardware software integration and test in the digital domain. So that's how those kind of all map together. Um, but over many years, I've done a lot of different things, so it's not just been in space. It's been in ground-based systems and back in space systems and different products that in multiple domains. But one thing kind of led to another, right? Over time, one kind of experience has led to a different kind, an expanded experience from job to job. So it's not linear. I would say for some people it is, but for me it just hasn't been a linear exposure. I've tried a lot of different things over time.
In the different domains that you've worked in, have there been any particular assets or traits that have applied themselves in each of the jobs or areas of expertise?
I would say probably a couple. One I mentioned earlier is having a reputation of delivery and performance, and delivering and performing. And then the other, I would say, is being able to work with a wide variety of people, both internal in the company as well as externally with customers and partners, being able to really work relationships across a lot of different boundaries to get an outcome that's important for our customers.
The next thing that I was curious about is actually something that I think that you've mentioned earlier when you were talking about, the three questions that you ask yourself before going into a job, and one of them was, who will you work with? So in keeping to that idea of working with the team, with a position like yours where you have so much oversight, do you have any tips to get people to communicate and work with each other?
Oh, that's so funny. Not funny, haha. Funny, like that's something that we talk about often, right? Is how to help teams be most effective, and we in some cases go through have folks go through the opportunity of training to learn how to be a good leader, to learn how to communicate with folks in a way that gets them to participate more as opposed to not motivating them to participate, to learn how to think about a problem so that they can communicate it in a most efficient way. So some of it is training. And then the other piece of it is recognizing that I think most people on most teams want to do a great job. So if there is a barrier to performance, it most often isn't because somebody showed up to work today to say, I want to fail. So if the intention is performance, but the outcome isn't, sometimes it's really getting in to just understand where that barrier is. It could be in their communication style. It could be in the fact that folks don't, cultural shifts and differences between organizations. It could, lots of different reasons why. But generally getting in to understand the underlying barrier is something that we can do and get after that and help teams perform better.
With that said, I was kind of curious to know what is your proudest accomplishment?
And you mean work accomplishment?
Yes, I would say so.
There are many. And so I really can't pinpoint one program as much as I would say having a team move through the process of understanding a problem, understanding its challenge and difficulty, not really knowing how to solve that challenge, working through that to a successful outcome as a team. Because the fundamental benefit that we have as leaders is getting the teams to work together to achieve great results. And so for me, it's not any particular milestone or role of my own as much as it has been the successful delivery of something that at the front of it, nobody knew how to get that done.
Mm-hmm.
And that team accomplishment around that has been very satisfying. I would also say that one other area has been in a situation that maybe folks from the outside might say was a failure. But it was very satisfying in how the team managed through that failure. How the team managed through that scenario. One, getting unity on the process of how to work through it, but two, helping each other through that process, organizationally and individually, is also very satisfying.